Clojure and exception handling and how to throw and catch exceptions. This is what this video is about. It is, spoiler alert. It's a lot like Java. It's but let's get into it. So I have this this main function right here, and here I have a demo throwing exceptions and one with Clojure data. So that's if you want to add some data to our exception when we throw it, and then we have demo with open. I'll save that to the end. But let us start with demo throwing exception. How do we throw an exception in Java, and how do we actually catch them? It's very easy. So it's just like with Java. We call try catches exceptions thrown while its body runs. So again, as usual with Clojure, you create these round brackets, and that is what you're calling, and that's the whole context of your variables. For instance, if you're creating variables in that and all that. But actually, in this situation right here, then this is the scope for the whole try. You probably have seen before that if you have a let call, then you can see that the variables that you're setting inside your let, that it will end when the curly bracket ends also. That's the same with try. So try catch is exactly the same. So we have try, that means we want to try something, and then we just write the lines of code. We can add as many as we want to. Then we can add a catch at some point. So then we have catch. And in this situation right here, it's a legal argument exception that we are trying to run, and that's because we are dividing by 0. We're dividing by 0 right here to trigger the exception, and then instead of getting our program actually stops and breaks, then we just say, hey, print this out and get the message of the exception. That is what this function here does right here. And then we have finally in the end, and then finally block ran. So that is what we've done. It works exactly like with Java. Another so that was that's with the throwing example. So let us try with some data. If we want to add some data, so in the same situation right here, we want to throw. This is the definition up here, and here we have the first call try. We call right here, and then we want to call find user 42. Catch, and then exception info exception. So that is an exception with information. Let us go look at what happens in find user 42. So we're defining that function right here. We're defining that, and then we say, hey, throw x info user was not found. Okay. What is x info? You might ask. X info, it creates an exception with a message and a Clojure map. Okay, that is quite useful. So instead of creating all of these and extending all of these exceptions, and like you could do in Java, I would say let's say it like that. Then here you can actually just create this xinfo right here. If you create if you use xinfo, then you create a new exception with a map that is included in the data. And in this situation right here, we want to create a map with when these are just keywords that we are inventing ourselves. User ID, and then error, and then another. Here we have another keyword right here, and here we have a that is the argument. So we have a user ID right here. The user was not found, and then we add this data, and then wherever we are catching this exception, then we can use that data and show that to the end user. It's actually quite useful. So x, so the x info it is used a lot, and then we have we're catching right here exception info. That's how to catch any of these x info. That is the return type from x info, the exception info right here. So here we're printing out what is the message, what kind of message do we have. That is the standard part of the exception. Then we have another part right here, and that is our data part. So we have x data. So we call x data and then exception. That means that then we're returning all of the data from this exception. So that is the function. If you hold Control and click it, then we can go down here, and then we can see the documentation says returns exception data a map if x is an exception info. If not, then it just then it doesn't do that. So that actually means that you can call x data on any exception, but it only makes sense on the exception info. And then you get the map out here. We get the map out in the we get that out in the console. And again, here we have missing user information right here. And then we say user ID. So this is the keyword that we have right here. And then we say, we say, please give us the map. So we're taking out the map, and then we are calling. Then we actually, then we are calling. We want to get the value from the key user ID. That is what this means right here. Okay, so far so good. It is almost it almost makes sense, right? So then we come to demo with open, and with open, this is quite useful because that is also what you know from Java, where you can actually open something, a file reader, for instance, and that is also what we do right here. In this situation, it is a buffered reader. So if you want to open a file for reading, and then when you're done, you don't have to close it. You don't have to think about that because it is actually part of the try with or in the with open statement right here. And yeah, it's quite useful. So we have with open right here, and it ends right down here, and I don't have to close my my buffered reader any place right here. Closes resource even if the body throws an exception. Yeah, it avoids a lot of nasty exceptions and errors in production that you would usually only find in production, because it can be quite difficult to find these errors when you are creating your tests, of course. Okay, so then you have this example, catches an exception thrown inside with open. Okay, so here now we are catching the exception. So here we say with open. Then we say print something, and then we throw an exception that we're throwing this ourselves, and then we say catch, and again we write out what was actually happening. And again, we do not have to close it because it is still closed because we're using the with open right here. It is quite useful. So first we have with open, and it ends right here. So that is the with open, and then because we're inside the catch. The catch scope, and then we can catch it. Yeah, we inside the try scope, then we can catch it, of course, inside that scope right here. And try scope, it ends right there. That is why we have the round brackets right there. So let us run the program. Control Shift F10 or press the little play button. It's up to you. Using IntelliJ at least. Let us see what happens. I am waiting. Let's just press run. Okay, so now we're running it, and the output that we got. So first we are trying to divide 10 by 2. It works fine, and then we say divide 10 by 0. Caught exception cannot divide by 0. Okay, cool. Finally, block ran, and yeah, if you go look at that code up here. Here we have the code, so throw an exception but divided by 0 here. I cannot divide by 0, so that was when we got there. And then we come to the other situation right here. Let me just scroll down right here. So here we are dividing by, first we are dividing by 2, then we're dividing by 0, and we got the exception. And then we got to finally block, and then we print out this one right here. Finally block ran, and that is this that we have right here. Then we have we Clojure data right here, the example Clojure data right here, caught xinfo message, user was not found. Okay. Let's just see that. That is what we have right here. So that is the message of the exception that we got from find user 42 that we have right here. We have find user 42 right here. And we say that this is the message. So that is the standard part of the exception that we always add to the exception info. Then the next line right here, this is where we have the map, and it gets this nice toString representation of the map right here. User ID 42, error, user not found. Okay, and again, these are keywords. And again, keywords, you do not be afraid of them. It's just like strings. It just says that it is not a random string. It's something that actually means something. And yeah, and usually you would have a fixed number of values. Then we have missing user ID. 42 comes right here. We are taking the key. We are taking the value from the key user ID right here. That is what we see down here. Awesome. So then we're with open, read line 1, first line, read line 2, second line, read before exception, important data, caught with open exception, problem while reading, and then caught with open data, and there we have source, string reader. So again, if we go scroll down a bit right here, demo with open. Look at our example right here. So we have so we just have some printouts. These are always coming right here. So we have, read line 1, line 2. Then we are trying to do something right here where we are throwing an exception when we are done printing out read before exception, and we are actually adding some data right here because we are using the X-info approach that we just learned in the previous example. Right here we have source and then string reader. That's what we add in our map, and of course we can make these maps as complex as we want to, and add a lot of cool data, a lot of complex data also, and then we catch it right here, and then we print out the data. First, we print out the message, which we always need to get add a message, and the message is right here. Problem with reading. That's actually it. So that is actually exception handling in Clojure. If you know exception handling in Java, then you will not be surprised about how it works with Clojure. Thank you very much for all of your comments. It always makes my day. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. And most of all, thank you for being you. Bye-bye.